In this video, we're going to talk about ways of going ahead and quieting the spirits, as well as ways of going ahead and opening up to the spirits. Hetepu fan, peace and blessings. This is Derric Rakumar, and we want to talk about, like I said, how to close down communication to the spirits, ancestors and spirit guides, as well as how to open ourselves up to the ancestors and spirit guides. As I've mentioned, part of the reason for doing this video is because I forgot to mention this in the last video, in which we were talking about dealing with the calling. Someone went ahead and said, "Hey, you didn't say how to do this." Okay, so that's part of the reason why we're going ahead and doing this video, and it's coming right, back to back like this. All right. First of all, there is, when we talk about closing down. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead, for those who us not familiar with it. When we talk about going down, or we're talking about closing down, what is happening is that your intuition is open. And as a result, you're one of the 4 C's. You are clairvoyant, clairaudient, clairsentient, claircognizant. And as a result, you're getting a lot of these, you're reading things, you're getting psychic impressions and everything. But it's too much, okay? It's kind of like basically having a headlight, just basically shined in your face, all right? So what you want to do is go ahead and you want to narrow that beam down, so that it's not shining directly in your face, but it's shining enough so that you can go ahead and you can, determine, you can decipher and interpret and get meaningful information. So that's really what has to happen. Okay, we want to go ahead and we want to, like I said, you want to tune it down. Okay. On the other side, on the flip side, we have individuals who are, you're doing things, but it seems like your psychic awareness is not there. Okay. It's like you're not able to speak with your ancestors. You're not able to, speak with your ancestors or your spirit guides, because you feel as if your psychic awareness is not working. Okay, you feel, and before I even say that, all of us have a psychic awareness. All of us are, we come or reincarnate to this plane with at least one of those psychic awarenesses, functioning. It's just that over time, we ignore it. Over time, it's like any other, it's like a muscle. If you don't use that muscle, it basically becomes, it goes into atrophy, and it becomes, you don't use it. All right. So you just basically, we all have this ability. We just have to go in here. We have to strengthen it. Okay. So, like I said, those of us, so on the other side of the spectrum, we have one group who is trying to, tune things down. We have another group who is trying to open things up. Okay. They're trying to go ahead and open the beam, so that their awareness is, so that they can go ahead and they can pick up and they can get the psychic awareness. Now, there are different ways in which you can do this, but the one thing that I know that actually works, it is easy, it is a method that is proven, and it works all the time, that method is meditation. Now, before we go there, the reason why a lot of people, they have problems with meditation is because meditation is so simple. A lot of people have, over the years, and I'm not talking about recent, I'm talking about, hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of years, they've added different things to it. They have, you know, they end up talking about the different postures, the different hand gestures, or, you know, mudras, the different postures, you know, lotus position, or whatever other kind of what they call in the yogic tradition asanas. Different breathing methods, you know, one nostril to, you know, alternate nostril breathing, and all this, the different mantras, you know, things in which you can chant and all that kind of stuff. And because of all these techniques, they have basically muddled, in my opinion, the basis of what meditation is. And as a result, this is the reason why a lot of people are turned off from it, because they're thinking, hey, I got to get into a lotus position, or I got to go ahead and I have to hold my hands a certain way, or I have to go ahead and I have to breathe this way, or I have to do all these different things. And that is not the case, okay? It is the furthest from the truth. And just to be honest, the reason why all these different techniques are basically turning people off from meditation is because that's what your ego is hearing, and it makes it get turned off from it. Okay, it makes you get turned off from it. It is truly a ploy from your set. That's all it is. Okay, and that's why I'm trying to go ahead. Let's get back into the basics. Okay, the basis of meditation. When we strip away all these different things, meditation is not something that you do not have to be in the yogic tradition in order for you to meditate. People have been meditating all over the world because the basis of meditation is contemplation. That's all it is. Okay? Once you go in here and you understand, that's the bare bones of meditation. The bare bones of meditation is just contemplation. When you think about it from that perspective, you'll see that you've been meditating before. You've meditated, and you have successfully meditated. Everyone has successfully meditated. And that's because if you think about meditation as just basically being about contemplation, really what it deals with is just shutting up and being quiet and sitting down. That's it. Okay? So, that's all meditation is. Meditation is not tied to a specific tradition. Every culture that has walked the planet has meditated. And meditation is what will help you with either tuning down that psychic beam or opening up the psychic beam. Okay? So, for those of us who are trying to tune down the psychic beam, you're getting a lot of intuitive, messages. Okay? In this society, I find it very difficult. Well, I don't want to say difficult, but in this society, I don't normally come across people who have this issue, because the United States is a Western society that focuses solely on, focuses solely on what is considered to be, science, rational thinking, the intellect. So usually most people don't have a problem with the psychic noise. But if you do, like I said, meditation works with this. What meditation does is it helps you to tune down that psychic beam so that you can decipher, or you can determine which is relevant, which is not. All right. The one thing that comes to mind, if you've ever, if you have that kind of issue, The one movie that comes to mind is the movie Constantine. Okay, it used to be, it was on Netflix, but it stars what's his name, Keanu Reeves, and that's one of the things he speaks about. The character Constantine speaks about is the fact that the psychic being was so open, and he didn't know anything about it. He was able to see, all these different impressions, all these, he's picking up on all these things, and he eventually had to learn. He learned in the end. But he eventually had to learn how to bring that noise down, how to bring, not the noise, but how to, fine tune the psychic being. Okay. On the flip side, what I find a lot of people have problem with are those people who, they're trying to open up the beam. Okay. Because right now the beam is coming out, the psychic beam is coming out like a pin light, and you're trying to open it up a little bit. Okay. In order to open it up, and first of all, let me explain. Part of the reason why it is coming out as a pin light and you're trying to open it up is because it's been closed. Now, there's several reasons why this has been closed. Most of the time it's been closed because, like I said, this is the society we live in, and we're taught to ignore our psychic sense. We're taught not to, if we cannot physically assess things with our 5 physical senses, then we're taught at an early age, ignore it. We're taught, stop daydreaming, stop imagining, stop playing, no, you didn't hear this. No, what your grandmother didn't say anything to you because she's not here. We're taught to ignore it, and that basically causes that psychic sense to go into atrophy, as I have mentioned earlier. So what meditation does is it opens that back up. It opens it back up so that you can go ahead and you can start seeing things from a metaphorical perspective. You can start seeing things, seeing, hearing, and using that psychic sense. All right. Another reason why that psychic sense has been closed, though, is because in this society, because so much attention is focused on the physical reality and focused on the 5 physical senses, there's a lot of escapism that is promoted in this society. And within our community, there's a lot of escapism that is promoted. All right. This is all intentional. So you have to, and when I'm saying escapism, I'm talking about, let me just get real. We're talking about the alcohol. We're talking about the use of alcohol. We're talking about the use of drugs. The big one that kills and really messes up our psychic sense, the meditation, not meditation, but that messes up our psychic sense is marijuana. All right. If you're trying to go ahead and you're trying to develop that, you got to get away from those things. Okay. Because that escapism that is being pushed in our community and is forcing people to go ahead and to use, it causes you to rely more on those things for a certain gratification instead of using those things properly. All right. Now, the reason why I say that is because there's a lot of people, you'll hear people talking about DMT. You'll hear people talking about ayahuasca. I believe that's pronounced correctly. And these are all different substances that can help. DMT is a natural substance, but there's certain herbs, certain things that will trigger it within our body. But these are things, because of them being abused in this society, because of it being abused, herbs being abused, and so forth and so on. this also goes ahead and it closes you down from, from a psychic. It closes your psychic sense down. This is the reason why I don't recommend it, because, as soon as you go ahead and say, hey, okay, well, this particular herb will go ahead and it will help you with this. Well, what happens? People automatically, they want to go ahead and they want to use it. Next thing you want to know, or next thing you know, they're abusing it. Okay, because that's what this society, it promotes. One of the herbs that, that people do this and is about to be abused is, I believe it's blue lotus. Okay. That's just how this Western society functions. Okay. But you have to go ahead, like I said, you tune it down. Meditation will go ahead and it will stop that. Let me go back. Let me, because I want to make sure this is clear. Okay. What I'm saying is that because of all these different substances and all the different abuses of, herbal remedies, herbs, whatever the case may be, all of these things, they all work. But because we're not in the right mindset, when we go ahead and we use these things, we use these substances, because of the society we're in, we have a tendency to go ahead and to abuse them. And this abuse is what's also causing our psychic channels to be closed, okay? To either be extremely open or to be closed, all right? And what I'm saying is that meditation can go ahead and fix that, all right? And again, I like I said, I want you to understand that, okay? That has to be clear. Give you a prime example. I was raised because I was raised in an apostolic Pentecostal household, drinking, smoking, and certain other things was basically considered to be a sin. So when I went ahead and when I left the church and I got on this path, because of me being against, or I was raised against these things, when I finally went ahead and I came across there we go. When I finally went ahead and I came across I got on this path, substances, like I said, because I was raised to be against, and not to use these things. When I got on this path, things like coffee and tobacco, alcohol, I can go ahead and I can use them, and I can use them respectfully, and they would go ahead and they would assist me in being able to open up my pathways to be able to deal with spirits, okay, to be able to communicate with my ancestors, to be able to communicate with my spirit guides. All right. Now, understand what I mean when I'm saying this. I don't even have to use them. Okay. It's like, for instance, give you an example. It's like, for instance, people who go ahead and they drink coffee all the time. Well, coffee can actually be used to help you go to sleep. Okay. But we never see any of that. So most of us don't see that because in our society, in this society, it's been pushed to drink coffee to stay awake. So because of that, you never see the other side of coffee. All right. Well, I'm saying it's the same. That's the same way with everything. All right. Because of me not going ahead and using tobacco, if I go ahead and I take a cigar, or if I take some pipe tobacco and I offer it, it automatically opens the way for me. All right. I don't have to smoke it. I don't have to do any of those things. All I have to do is go ahead and just take it. I can take a cigar, and just the scent of the tobacco will go ahead and it will open up a pathway, and I can communicate with my ancestors, or I can communicate with my spirit guides. It triggers just like that. Now, the reason why that works like that is because, again, I didn't use tobacco. So I have a respect for it as an herb. Okay? Same thing with coffee. I can offer coffee to my ancestors, offer coffee to my spirit guides, and it will go ahead and it will trigger. It will open up a channel, and next thing you know, I'm getting messages from my ancestors, from my spirit guides, just from the scent of coffee. All right. Now, so what I'm saying is, and I'm not saying this to brag or anything. What I'm saying is, the reason why that works this way is because I have not abused it. Okay. Now, this is not to say that I haven't abused coffee. Okay. Because I have. There was a time in which I did. But when I went ahead and I started to cut back on it, and I started to rely more on meditation, I started to meditate more. Once I did that, then it opened up that pathway for me to go ahead and to be able to use coffee that way. Because now it's like if I drink coffee, I drink it very sparingly, very, very sparingly. Okay. And again, that's what meditation does. Okay. So what I'm saying is, if you're abusing, okay, if you're using anything for recreational purposes, all right, that's one of the things that's going ahead and is closing down your channels. It's closing down your means of communication, or is opening it up too much. And what you have to do is, you gotta stop doing it. Okay. I can't dictate to you, and I can't tell you, what you're doing, and if you're doing something that's right or wrong, or I can't do that. Okay. Because that's not my path. That's not my purpose. And that's not the purpose of this video. I'm just telling you, these are the things that work, and what you have to do in order to get back to that deal. Now, the thing that comes to mind, because I hear some people saying, well, but this people did this and this people did that. Yeah, everybody did whatever, okay? But does that mean that you can do it? Okay? That's what your ancestors and your guides are trying to get you to understand. If you can't do it, who cares what other people have done? Okay? This is about you right now. This is about you focusing on you, not what other people have done. Focus on you. All right? Now, so again, we got to go in here and you got to learn how to meditate. And the thing is, we all can meditate. In order for you to meditate, you just need to go ahead and, because like I said before, meditation is all about contemplation. You just need to learn, or you just need to meditate for 20 minutes. At the least 20 minutes. All right? That's all you need to do. All right? In order for you to meditate for 20 minutes, and a lot of people, they always say, well, I can't meditate. And the fact of the matter is, yes, you can. It's just all these other different things have distracted you, and all these different techniques have made it seem like you can't meditate. All right? But meditation is just contemplation. Now, the easiest way to meditate is to go ahead and to inhale through your nostrils, breathe out or exhale through your mouth, and while doing that, pushing your stomach in and out. That's the easiest way to meditate. All right? If that doesn't work, light a candle and focus on the flame. If that doesn't work, draw a dot and focus on the dot. Okay? Try to go ahead and do that for at least 20 minutes. If you can't do it for 20 minutes, you need to work your way up to doing it for try 5 minutes, and do increments. 5 minutes, do 10 minutes, 15 minutes, 20 minutes. Okay? But the whole point is, you want to be able to go ahead and be able to do this for 20 minutes. for those of you who have an ancestor altar and you have like a Hetepu or, or Boveda, you can also meditate there. But I find that to be a little bit more of a distraction sometimes. I mean, it works, but you just have to go ahead and use it as a meditation. If you want to use it as a meditation tool, just pour your waters, clean your glasses and all that, pour your waters and everything. And then, like I said, same thing. You want to sit for about 20 minutes. You want to contemplate for about 20 minutes. What's going to happen during this time is that you're going to get some thoughts that's going to come through. Just go ahead and go with the thought, and that's pretty much it. Okay. If you find yourself drifting, you're still meditating. That's part of the process. Okay. You find your awareness going from here to there and all this other kind of stuff. Don't worry about it. That's part of the process. Okay. You just got to go ahead and eventually learn how to focus on one thing and not have your awareness shift all over the place. If you find when you're meditating, if you find that, when you're doing this, you fall asleep, okay? That again is part of the process, all right? That does not mean that you cannot meditate. It just simply means that you've gone into a very, very deep state of trance to the point that you've fallen asleep. You just need to go ahead and try again and try to meditate, okay? Try to stay awoke, because what you're doing is when you're meditating, again, you're relaxing your body, putting your body in a relaxed state. You're basically quieting from a Christian perspective. You're trying to get the flesh to chill out, okay? From a Kemetic perspective, you're trying to get set to chill, okay? You're trying to get set to loosen, loosen those rings, get some of them ropes off of you, and excuse me, like I said, and bring yourself up. Okay, and so that your spirit is able to speak more. Okay, but that's it. That's all meditation is. That's all you have to do. Okay, I'm hoping that helped. I hope that makes a little bit more sense. If you got any comments or questions or suggestions, again, just drop me a line. Okay, so until next time, y'all. Hetepu, peace.
Don't pretend it, baby.